I have a new channel. Yeah. They ain't gonna make me shut up. Well, you remember, some of you who has been following me for a very long time, at least before 2010, where I started the Gulf oil spill. What are you gonna call it? I don't know. But I picked up on this immediately. I had a message from the Holy Spirit telling me that this is something I need to cover, and I need to cover it extensively. And it actually turned out that it evolved very fast, and I ended up on 6 or 7 shows with the Intel Hub and being on the air with the late A.C. Griffith, who also sent me a phone so make sure that I could be on the show and give the reportings that I have found regarding the Gulf oil spill. Now you're looking at a pretty nasty picture. Well, it is a nasty picture, but this is some of the fumes that is coming when we have an oil spill. And this is some of the fumes that we have encountered during the Gulf oil spill, plus Corexit, which is 10 times more poisonous than the crude oil itself, and 100 times more poisonous when it reacts with the crude oil in order to drop it down to the seafloor, because that's what Corexit is for, and is also called the blue flu. I have just today seen a video that caught my attention, that it seems like the torch has been picked up again regarding the Gulf oil spill, because there is more to it than meets the eye. And I made in 2013 a documentary regarding the Gulf oil spill, and it stretches from 2010 and 2013, and I made a new channel where I can upload long videos on it. And of course, on this video there will be a link in the box in the video itself you can click on, so you can go get yourself familiar with my first upload on that channel, which is the documentary regarding the Gulf oil spill in 2010, which our fantastic president, shithead Obama, made, at least from what unconfirmed sources says, made $80 million of just letting this slide. And he let it slide in a fashion that he has doomed United States of America, because he is a Muslim, and when you are a Muslim, you are part of a satanic cult. They have nothing to do with God. They are acting on their own little idea about what stuff is. They got no idea what love is, and it's not a religion of peace, tolerance, and love. Period. He's also a communist, and communism hates the prosperity of people, of a nation. They want everything to be government owned, government controlled. You're here looking at a picture of all the potential oil wells, and also oil wells that are already being used, and oil is being sucked out of the ground. But we choose in this country to buy oil from the enemy, which is Sunni Muslims in Saudi Arabia, who hates us. Yeah, they call us Satan. It's not just Iran that calls us Satan, but also Saudi Arabia. But they are benefiting off the US dollar, buying their crude oil. Instead of extracting what we have in our own ground for the next 1,000 years, we are buying foreign oil. we could be self-sufficient. But that's not part of the plan. Part of the plan is to Islamify the entire planet with a satanic cult called Islam, which will be the Antichrist. He will be a Muslim. Whether you like it or not, you can call me a bigot, you can call me whatever you want to. I don't give a flying F what you think. You see, I'm right. And you just want to play politically correct. And that is what is bringing us in this mess that we're sitting in today. That we are letting crooks running this planet into the ground. And speaking about into the ground, the United States of America is being run into the ground. We have here a complete map of the Gulf of Mexico where there is hydrocarbons, oil, flammable oil. I have in 2010, during my Gulf oil spill videos, conveyed to you that this thing that happened here in Macondo in Macondo 92 and Macondo 95, they bought the top lease 95 and drilled into 92 from 95. And if you look at the oil spill grid, the oil drilling grid, you will find out that 95 is just above 92. They drilled into the salt dome called Gloria Dome, which is the largest salt dome in the Gulf of Mexico. Right next to Gloria Dome we have Biloxi Dome, which is the mount of an ancient asphalt volcano that takes up approximately 1/6 of the entire Gulf of Mexico. Yes, you heard me correctly. I want you to watch the documentary. It's a little lengthy, it's 2 hours and 47 minutes, but when you're done watching that, you will understand what really is going on and what they're planning on doing. As I have said to you a million times, they want to kill us. And they're succeeding because we're letting them. You're more busy with your cell phone, your TV box on the wall, and all kinds of crap in the tabloids, instead of really getting into what's going on in our country. We're being confused with Hillary Clinton scandals and all the nice things that Donald Trump is saying, which he's right about. That keeps us distracted from what is going on behind the scene. And what is going on behind the scene is the sinking and the complete obliteration of the United States of America. And I have said that to you in 2010, that this country is over. They're going to blow it up. They're going to completely destroy it. And their plan has succeeded, and it's too late. And I told you that in 2010. There's nothing we can do about it. They have already pulled the plug. And that plug they have pulled exists in Macondo 92. The reason why I'm showing you this picture is because this is what the Corexit is doing. The Corexit is making the oil sink to the floor and killing all life down there. Pretty much. Crude oil is toxic. There's limits to how much the organic material on the seafloor and fish likewise can tolerate of pure crude oil. They do benefit a little from volcanoes and oil that is naturally seeping out into our oceans, but in this amount, plus something that is 10 times more toxic than the crude oil itself, is going to kill everything off. Meaning the Gulf of Mexico is a dead zone. And when you're eating fish from the Gulf of Mexico, you're actually committing suicide. It contains flesh-eating bacteria, which United States of America, thanks to Obama, have a patent on. And again, we got more of these domes showing up. We got much more of them. And as I describe in the documentary, that's which I strongly recommend you to watch. Some of you have watched it because you've been following me for years, and you know that I'm speaking the truth. But you who is new to my channel, or newer, been here for a couple of years, don't know about my Gulf oil spill documentary. You don't know about the work that I have done regarding this subject. You have absolutely no clue. So what I'm going to go take you out to now, which I will just, before I do that, I want to show you the end result of what they have done in the Gulf of Mexico, what it will lead to. And it will lead to an explosion, eruption of proportions that mankind have not seen ever in their entire history. And that is Yellowstone Park is going to erupt. And it's going to be so magnificent or destructive that 1/3 of America will be buried in ashes. 1 feet in Texas and figure up all the way to Wyoming. So I'm going to show you something here in a second. Bear with me. Okay, I want you here to have a very close look. This is some of the Deepwater Horizon, the rovers that they sent over there to monitor. But in reality they were showing at point blank what they were doing. That apparatus there was a detonator. It has nothing to do, you see the fissures there, the cracks in the seafloor. And you see the wires. These are not high pressure wires, these are electric wires. And inside the seafloor they have already pre-positioned what I suspect, and I will be very blunt and say they have placed a nuclear device. We need to understand that those 4 wells, and here we also got another control module. The 2 wells, well A and well B. Well A was a misfire. It did not succeed. Something went wrong, and they abandoned the site and went over to well B. And well B blew up. Deepwater Horizon blew up. Then they told us that they would go out with 2 rigs and drill 2 holes as a so-called relief well. And they were actually drilling down to 37,500 feet. My documentary shows that beyond reasonable doubt. I even got the documents as insider sent to me, because apparently someone thought that would be a good idea because I was so much on top of what was going on before I even had the documents. So someone from the inside sent me the documents, and I still have those documents at hand. But what they did was they pre-positioned some either seismic bombs or nuclear devices, and they literally blew up the salt dome in a very, very far down, in a depth of 37,500 feet. That is very far down. And as I told you back in 2010, that because of the Gulf oil spill and because of what happened on the seafloor, there we have the explosion taking place. I told you that water would come in from the Gulf of Mexico and up into Louisiana. What happened? I was right, as I usually is, and that was water came up and created a sinkhole which were filled with water. And here you're watching the nuclear detonation of the seafloor, compromising the entire Gulf of Mexico. And yeah, I can say it in another fashion. Right there, they pulled the trigger for the death sentence of United States of America. From that moment on, it was beyond return. They blew up the seafloor completely. The entire seafloor was pulverized, and after the seafloor was blown up like that, extreme fissures were showing in the seafloor, which the other guy that has taken up the torch again, talking about this, which is not news to me at all, but I think I have to look at the subject once more, because I don't think it's so far out in our future. And as you see, after the explosion, after the detonation, there's just a gigantic hole in the ground. Gigantic. God bless you.